welcome back to our channel, Kids, Cul-de-sac, and Cocktails.
We're the cul-de-sac mamas, and this is our real talk on dating your spouse.
So dating your spouse, what does it mean, what does it look like, and why is it important?
It's really important.
So dating your spouse, what does it mean? When you were first dating your spouse, it was exciting. You guys are kind of obsessed with each other and just want to spend every minute together. So we're trying to take it back to those roots and kind of rekindle the flame that was once started a long time ago, or maybe not too long ago, but just getting back to that exciting point and making your relationship something fresh.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. So that's what we mean by it. Second point.
So what does it look like to date your spouse?
You know what? It can look like, I think, a lot of different things, because my first thought is plan a date night, right? Which is not the wrong idea at all. You know, like, I think that when you get married and you just get into the routine of things, it's so easy to let date nights go on the back burner, and instead you're doing bathroom remodels and carting the kids around and making getting your groceries and making dinners. So I think definitely scheduling a time on the calendar to like get away, and it doesn't mean it has to be fancy dinners. Like it could be a walk downtown, you know, just visiting with each other, or getting an appetizer, splitting an appy during happy hour and getting a cocktail, or just going to the beach with each other. It doesn't have to be extravagant. It's that time together, like you said, learning about each other. That's so important. So that's like the first thing that comes to mind is like scheduling that date on the calendar. But I think it's so much more than that. It comes down to every day.
Definitely. I think being intentional is so huge because a lot of times, especially if you have one kid or 3 kids or 4 kids and you both work, it's hard to not get into a routine where it's like, wake up, good morning, babe. Feed the kids. See you later. I'm dropping the kids off. He's going to work. I'm going to work. Yeah. And then every day kind of looks like that. So I think it's really important to make sure that you're intentional and you're like, hey, my daughter's going to go to bed every day at 7:30 or 8. And from 8 to 10, I'm going to date my spouse. Whether that's once a week or twice a week or every night if you want to. I mean, just take that time where it's just the two of you. Yeah. No technology. I mean, some date nights, it's nice to put on a movie and cuddle and watch something that you both enjoy. But other nights, it's good to just sit down and talk to each other.
Yeah, definitely be intentional. Like, some days we'll just get up and we'll be like, hey, do you want to have a date night tonight outside? And it's just after the kids are in bed. And what that looks like for us is just bringing a bottle of wine outside, leaving our phones inside, maybe playing some soft music, or just, but being intentional about having conversations together, because I feel like communication in relationships is everything, and it's what's gonna carry you through, and it's what's gonna really make your relationship strong. And there was this one thing that we were talking about, a book, like the 5 different love languages, and I'm not saying you have to go out and buy this book and read it, but it made a good point. Like, there's different ways to communicate love, and different ways people like to receive and give that love. So there's like acts of service, words of affirmation,
physical
touch.
I'm not sure what the
time.
other 2 are.
Time.
Yeah, time. And
something else. Maybe it
something
wasn't
else
one of our love languages.
But I think everybody knows what their partner's love language is.
And if you don't know, it's time to like
figure it out.
So you guys can get on the same page. Like, what do I need from my spouse, and what does he need from me?
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, that's really good.
And once you know that, I think it's nice to even little things during the day. Like, mine's very much physical touch, and like, I love to be hugged. So
gifts was the last one.
Oh, gifts!
Remember.
Good job.
And it doesn't have to be materialistic. Just
any
be
kind
like,
of gift.
like flowers or
No, that's so true. And then I know my husband likes words of affirmation and physical touch. So if he's cooking dinner and I walk by and slap his butt or just like whisper in his ear how much I love him, I think that just sets the tone too for the day. Because if you know you're going to have a date night, you want to make sure you kind of get that tone going, because you don't want to go in like, oh, I've barely spoken 5 words to you today, let's go on a date. It doesn't work as much.
Sure.
It is good to set the tone. I think that's true. And I think that's something that you hit on that was so good when Lena said, like, leaving technology, leaving your phones inside, or because that's like a huge distractor
Mhm.
for us is like, oh, someone just texted, or oh, there's an email, or oh, I need to write this person back on Facebook Messenger, or let me just mindlessly scroll, right? When we're trying to be intentional, the kids are asleep, and like, oh, oops, I put on Netflix, and oh, oops, my phone is here, and I'm just scrolling, right? So like we're together physically, but mentally we are so
Yeah.
far
Different
apart.
planets, yeah.
And I think like more often than not, like it's just removing those distractors so that you have to look each other in the eyes, and you have to just start somewhere, right? Instead of checking out and watching Netflix, like you said, cuddling.
Right.
Obviously, that's a time for fun too. But like being able to be intentional about putting technology aside and just focusing on each other, like you were dating, you know, like
Yeah.
getting those butterflies back.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
I
think that. Oh.
Sorry, we're so excited about this topic.
I love the topic. No, go.
Well, I was going to mention, I saw a quote today that I thought was really good. It said, date your spouse like they aren't yours yet.
Yeah, love
Like when
that.
you're first dating them,
You gotta fight for that
That's right,
you're
relationship.
fighting for them.
That's my
I think that's
man.
good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And I think that brings it full circle. Like, why is it important to do this? It's important for your everyday, like, put some excitement in your life, man.
Yeah, that's right.
And you guys kind of feed off of each other. Like, you may or may not realize it, but like, you're setting the tone for his day, and he's gonna give that right back to you, most likely too. So,
That's so true.
yeah. What else?
So go on a date.
Go on a
Date your
date.
spouse
Yes.
tonight.
One more plug too. When Mike and I first got married, we have like super different schedules. Like I know a lot of wives and husbands do, and he's gone some nights and days at a time. And so there are certain apps on your phone that you can get, and we used to answer questions to each other back and forth. And so whenever like I had a break at work, like I'm a nurse, so I would go and I'd check and I'd be like, okay, happy couples. Let me fill out a question, you know, and I'd like get to guess what he would say about him or he would say about
That is
me.
so cute.
And then like 3 hours later, I'd get a notification like Mike's answered a question.
Aw.
And it's just sweet because you know like your spouse is taking time out of their day, they're thinking of you,
Right.
and they're wanting to connect even though physically you're far apart in proximity.
Definitely.
So thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Be
Comment
sure that
below
yes,
what your date
comment.
night looks like.
Yes.
Different ideas.
Tell us what you did tonight to date your spouse because we want new ideas as well.
Oh, yeah.
We always need them.
And don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Yay, bye.